Welcome. Today you're going to learn how to create an email campaign in your Mailblaze account. To create a campaign, you need to have a list, any files or assets you want to use at hand, access to your Mailblaze account, and a bit of creativity. Let's create a campaign together. First, let's click on the Campaigns menu item in the main menu and then click on Campaigns again. This is our campaign list view. We'll find all our campaigns here in the future. Let's get started by clicking on the Create New button. We're going to name our campaign Mailblaze Weekly Newsletter, but you should choose a name that's easy to remember and is descriptive in terms of your campaign needs. We don't have a specific group we want to send to, but if you have a specific group, you can choose that group from the drop-down menu. We're going to choose the list we created for this video. If you want to send your campaign to a specific segment, you can choose the segmented group from the drop-down options here and specify that you want to send the campaign to them. You may refer to the video tutorial on how to segment your list to know more about this option. You could also choose to send your campaign to more than one list or more than one segment by adding them in the Add Additional List or Segment dropdown. When you add an additional list or segment, you're able to merge these lists and name them so you don't get confused in the future about which lists you used for a specific campaign. We will just use one list for now. Let's continue by clicking on the Save and Next button. As we've chosen a specific list, you'll see that the platform has already pre-populated some of the list settings for us here. We can update these settings as needed. It's important to pay special attention to our from name, from email address, and reply to email address. In particular, we'll want to ensure that we choose a specific reply to email address if we need subscribers to be able to reply to our campaign to a different email address from the one we are sending from. The next step is setting our email subject line. Email subject lines are crucial to the success of your campaigns as they are the first thing that your subscriber sees in their inbox. Now we can click on View Advanced Settings and choose the options. This is where the platform tracks if someone opens the campaign. If you click on Yes on Open Tracking, the platform will record the open activity of this campaign. We recommend that you don't change the default setting as you'll potentially miss out on gathering valuable data. This data is helpful to measure the performance of your campaigns. There are various elements that can be tracked in an email campaign. URL tracking, for example, allows you to see which of the links in your campaign have been clicked on. Our built-in tracking automatically adds unique tracking to any links in your campaign to enable the platform to track your subscribers' behavior. This can help you to measure sent campaigns and optimize your campaigns in the future. You can choose to not have our tracking added to your links if you prefer by selecting No here. Please note that if you do decide not to add tracking, there will be no link data available to you in your campaign report. So we suggest to leave it on Yes to have the data available to analyze your marketing efforts. You will now see that you can also choose whether to embed your images or not. If you set your embedded image setting to Yes, your images will automatically be downloaded within your subscriber's email client. This is only true for some email clients though, as all email clients do not allow images to be downloaded automatically. Outlook is an example of an email client that doesn't allow for the automatic download of images. If a subscriber wants to see your images in Outlook, they would need to click on a pop-up to allow the images to appear. We don't recommend using embedded images as email clients often flag emails containing embedded images. This is because it is seen as a forced action. When you upload images or files into your Mailblaze file manager, they are hosted on our servers. This means your subscriber does not have to automatically download them. We cannot always control how email clients render images, but we do try as far as possible to accommodate for different email client specifications when it comes to how your images appear. Now we will be asked if there is a maximum number of subscribers we'd like to send to. If we only want to send to a set number of subscribers on a list instead of the full list, we can enter the amount here. We can also ask the platform to send out our email to a randomized subset of the list. This is useful if we are running a raffle, for example, and we want to have a small portion of our list to receive the email. Email stats is where the system will generate that report and send it to your email address. You would just leave it as it is. Next, you can add a pre-header. pre-headers are extra lines of text following on your subject line that are visible in some email clients. We've now covered all the settings that relate to our campaign. Let's click on the Save and Next button and start designing our campaigns. You can skip forward in this video if you've already created a template, as you'll know how to create your design, but if you haven't, keep watching. There are multiple ways to design your email. You can choose to start from layouts, our template library, your templates, previous campaigns, or custom code. If you click on the layouts, you can choose from the options available. To use a layout, just click on the option you like and start designing your campaign. If you're in a rush or would like to use one of our designs, simply scroll through the templates available and choose one of the designs. If you click on your template or previous campaigns, it will show you all the designs you have used to send your previous campaigns, and you can update the previous campaign as needed. If you click on Custom Code, you can paste your code here or import your code through a zip file or a web address. Once you've selected a starting point from the template library, you'll see 4 different tabs in the right-hand pane, namely Content, Structure, Pre-built, and Settings. You'll see these tabs across the platform in all the spaces where you are able to customize elements, with some small variations when it comes to form, page, and survey designs. The Content tab contains all the different content block elements that can be dragged into structures in the Design Preview pane. Next, you'll see the Structure tab. Structures provides layout sections that act as containers for your content blocks. Think about it like a painting. Essentially, your structure is your frame and your content block is like the canvas section you paint. There are a variety of structure layouts available with different column configurations. Structures help you organize your content effectively. Next, you'll see the Pre-built tab. It contains pre-built content blocks that have templated structures already placed, which help you design your campaigns with ease. If you're looking for inspiration or you're pressed for time, these pre-built templates take a lot of the design thinking work out of it for you. You can also create pre-built structures from your own campaigns. This is great if you want to easily duplicate specific layout sections from campaigns without rebuilding them from scratch. The Settings tab allows you to specify overall settings such as page and text styles, which then auto-apply to your template. We recommend that everyone sets up their Settings tab first, but especially clients who have strict brand guidelines, as it's a real time saver and helps you keep your campaigns consistent. Let's follow our own recommendation and start by completing the Settings section for our campaign. Here, we will make sure we set all our font sizes, button colors, etc. While we're doing this, we'll also make sure that we add an unsubscribe link to our campaign. No campaigns can be sent out without an unsubscribe link. Let's quickly run through how we can add this link. All we need is to double-click on the unsubscribe text and choose Other on the protocol when we're adding a link. We'll then enter the URL tag with open and close square brackets and type unsubscribe_URL. Then we'll click on OK. The platform will now know to automatically generate the unsubscribe link whenever we send out a campaign to our subscribers using this template. Now we can also click on Save at the top of the page. Now that we set up all our campaign elements under Settings, let's start by adding some more structures to get used to the process. Structures and content blocks have their own set of independent settings. You can also remove structures easily by clicking on the white space within the structure and then clicking on the trash icon here. Just be mindful that if a structure contains content blocks and the structure is removed, the content block will be deleted too. We're going to use this 2-column structure, which gives us 2 equally sized columns. We can then put content inside the columns. Let's add a text block into the first column. Once we place the block where we want it, we can tweak the text as needed. We can change the font, text color, margin, alignment, and background color just like we would if we were using a text editor. When adjusting the margin, we can click on More Options to adjust the padding of an element. Padding is the space around an element and can help you ensure your content elements don't feel cramped. In the text editing pane, you'll see all the standard text editing options available that we are familiar with from word processors like bold, italic, etc. But with a few extras like hyperlinks. Hyperlinks can be added to any text we want. We just need to highlight the text that we want to become the link and click on the link icon. Once we've done this, a small dialog box will pop up. We can now choose which type of link we'd like to add to our text by completing the pop-up. If we want to add specific HTML code to our template, say for just a section of the template, we can click on Source in the text editing pane and paste the HTML code. You will also see the Insert option here. This can be used to add any forms to your template as fields. This is especially useful when we're adding our system-generated links, like our link to the online version of our email, the link to our unsubscribed form, profile update form, etc. If we need to, we can also remove any formatting in the text editing pane here. We can adjust our text line spacing. Line spacing is the space between one row of text and the next row of text in the same paragraph. We can also adjust the letter spacing of our text. Letter spacing affects the space between individual letters of words within our text. Adjusting this spacing can help improve the legibility of some fonts. If we are using white text or a very light color for text in our email template, we'll want to use the dark mode option here. This sets the text editing pane to dark mode. Setting this will help us see our text clearly and doesn't affect how our campaign appears. Now that we've covered all the settings related to the text content, let's look at the image content block. Let's add an image content on the second column. Images are a great way to grab people's attention within your templates. If we click on the empty image block, our media library will open up. We can now upload our image to our media library or select and insert the image if we've already uploaded it. To upload an image, we just need to click on the Upload button and then choose our image from our computer. We can also drag and drop our image into the media library here to upload the image to. We recommend using images that aren't wider than 600 pixels, as this is a standard size that works well across most email clients. In the media library, if we hover over an image, we have the option to edit that image by clicking on Edit Image next to the Upload button. Don't forget to click on Save once you've done any edits. We can also make use of our Canva or Pexels integration when it comes to imagery. There are two buttons within the Mailblaze media library that directs to Canva and Pexels too. Let's look at Canva first. Canva is an online design tool that can help you create assets for your emails. We'll have to log into our Canva account initially, but from there on out we'll be directed to the email header template section within Canva when we use this integration. We can then choose to create our email header there or navigate within the Canva environment to create a different sized image to insert into your campaign. Once we are happy with our Canva edits, we click on Use and our image created in Canva will automatically save into our Mailblaze media library. Next, let's use Pexels. Pexels is a free stock photography website that we've integrated into the media library. If we click on Use Pexels, we can search for images or videos that we can use in our template. Once we see an image or video we like, we can click on it and add it to our media library. From there, we can just insert the image as per normal where we need it. Now that we've added some images, let's look at the image settings available. We can add a link to our images in this image link field, which means our image will be clickable. This is a great way to get people to visit our website. You should also add alt text. Alt text is alternative text that will appear in your email if your images cannot be shown in someone's inbox for some reason. An example of alt text could be logo for where you place your logo. Alt text is helpful as it makes your email content still make sense when there are no visuals available. Next, we can adjust the alignment and change the background color of the image here. Images can also have borders. We can pick the type of border, set the border color and size, and choose what kind of edge we want to set on the image, either rounded or rectangular. The last image setting is the image slider. We can make the image proportionally smaller if we'd like to create more space around it without having to edit the image. You'll see the margin setting here, but we've already covered how to adjust your margins. With images, there are some additional options to account for on how it can appear on mobile devices. When we click on More Options, there's a toggle button that we can switch on and off. If we enable the Hide on Mobile option, our image won't appear when our email is viewed on a mobile device. If we enable the Fluid on Mobile option, the selected image will be stretched to the full width of the mobile screen. Keep in mind it appears for images that are wider than 240 pixels, but are scaled down below the 240 pixel limit. We've now covered all the image settings related to the image content block and should now be able to make our images shine. Let's take a look at adding a GIF next. Let's add a two-column structure and place the GIF in the first column. We can add a GIF to our email by dragging the GIF element into the preview window, using the default animation, or searching for a GIF in the Search GIF field. Below this field, we can add the URL that our subscriber will be redirected to in the image link field. Just like with an image, we can also add alternative text, adjust the alignment, background color, border, and size of the GIF. We can also hide our GIF on mobile. Keep in mind that GIFs are not compatible with all email clients and will only show the first frame of the GIF in these cases. When you're adding custom GIFs, you should make sure that the first frame of the GIF contains the most important information. Let's add another content block to the second column. This time, we will be using the button content block. When it comes to buttons, we have lots of room to play around with our button design. We can edit the button text easily here and include the image link here. When customizing our buttons, we can set the alignment and styles. We can also make the button rectangular or give the button a round edge. Change the border radius, button text, and background colors and font family. We can even set our button to fill the full width of our content block. You can also change the text size by adjusting the slider. When we're customizing our button, we have the option of setting the inner padding or white space of the button too. This padding is the amount of space around our text within the button. This is different to when we set our margins, where we are setting the external padding of elements. If we're happy with our button settings, we can always duplicate the button so we can use it in other places of our template. To duplicate any content block, we just have to click on the copy icon next to the trash icon. You can press and hold on this option to move the button block to anywhere you like within your campaign design. Let's use the divider content block next. The divider content block helps us separate two elements by drawing a line between them. Dividers help us to keep our elements organized. We're able to set the stylization for the divider in a similar way to how we set our borders, but we can stretch or crop the size of the divider as needed. For dividers, we're able to set up whether we want our subscribers to see our dividers on mobile or not by setting the toggle on or off. Another content block that we'll look at now is the spacer block. The spacer content block does exactly what the name suggests. It creates some spacing between elements for us. We can adjust the size of the spacer by clicking on the spacing area in the preview window and dragging the spacer height slider in the editing panel as needed. We can also hide our spacer on mobile. Let's look at the next content block, the HTML content block. This block houses specific HTML code that you might want to add to your campaign. Take note, you don't have to start with your own HTML tags or body tags. You can just use pans, and you can also declare some style sheets here. Another great content block to use is the social content block. The social content block makes it easy to add our social media links to our templates. Once we've added the block to the structure where it's needed, we just have to add our unique social media links and select an icon style that best suits our template design. We want to also make sure that we customize our icons further by specifying the alignment, background color, size, and margin around the icons we've added. Don't forget to add the links. We can change the order of the icons by moving them to the position we want them to display. If we don't use all the platforms that we see listed, we just remove the ones we don't need by clicking on the trash can. To add more social icons, we just click on Add Another and choose from the available options. Our social media links are now sorted. A great way to increase your email engagement is through videos. Let's look at the video content block next. Our platform supports both Vimeo and YouTube videos. Let's add a video content block now. The video content block creates a thumbnail for us of the video we want to direct our audience to. We now just need to add our video link and then style the image as needed. Let's cover the RSS content block now. Once we place the RSS content block into our template, we just need to add our RSS feed URL here and then click on Connect. The RSS integrator will check our website for new content automatically. You'll see content is added and we're able to now select which layout we'd like the content to appear in. The next 3 content blocks available are content blocks that incorporate interactivity into your emails. Let's look at each interactive content block and see how they work. Let's use the accordion block together. An accordion is a type of menu that displays a list of headers stacked on top of one another. When one of the headers is clicked on, they reveal the hidden information under them. Accordions can be really useful when you want to give your subscribers the options to read more information on some main points you are communicating. Once you place your accordion block, you'll see that you can adjust your text in the same way you would when using a text content block. For our template, let's pretend this accordion answers one of our frequently asked questions. We'll add the question here and add the answer we want to appear if someone clicks or interacts with the accordion header. To show you how it works, let's view it on preview and testing. You'll see here that once you've clicked on the drop-down menu, it will provide all the text here. Now, click on the Back to Editor. Next, let's add a countdown timer block. A countdown timer is a virtual clock that counts down from a certain number or date to indicate the beginning or end of an event or offer. Let's say you are offering a promo that's only available for a limited time. The countdown timer can help you drive action on your subscribers' part. Once we place our timer, we just need to adjust the expiration date, customize the font color, alignment, and margin as needed. As interactive features aren't available in all email clients, we recommend adding another text block, for example, with the expiration date and time, just to ensure your audience always knows when your event ends. The last block available is the carousel block. Here we can add the images that we would like to appear in the carousel. In the carousel block, we can customize the background color, font, and border and hide the block on mobile. It's really important that every image we want to use for our carousel is the same size and aspect ratio, so we can get the best effect. Let's check this content from the preview and testing. Once a subscriber hovers over our image, the images will start cycling through like a web carousel. There are lots of fun ways for you to use this block, but a great use is to show off the different colors a certain product is available in. We've now looked at every content block available to us when creating our own templates. Now let's go through how you can preview and test your template. To start testing, we'll select Preview and Testing. We'll see our template in the preview window. Testing our template helps us to iron out any formatting issues or typos that may have slipped through during the design process. If we spot anything we want to change, we can just adjust the template where needed. All we need to do is enter our email address in the text field in the top right corner and send ourselves a test email. It's important to try and test in as many email clients as you can. So look at your email in, for example, Gmail and Outlook, as different email clients render email designs differently. We also want to make sure we look at the mobile versions of our templates too. To make adjustments, we can just click on Back to Editor and test again. Once we've made any changes needed, we'll click on Save and Close. Now we'll be presented with the Campaign Overview menu. This menu gives us a short summary about our campaign as a last-minute check to ensure we are happy with the settings we chose. Here we have the overview of our campaign name, the list that we chose, the from name that would appear when this goes out to your subscribers' inboxes, the email that they can reply to, and the subject line that would appear in their inboxes. If we're happy that we've made all the necessary tweaks and done all our pre-send tests, we can send out the campaign now, or we can schedule the campaign to send at a later time. Scheduling a campaign is really easy. By default, the system will capture the current time. To schedule our campaign to send later, we can just click on the desired time and date as needed. Our campaign will then send on the preferred date and time we chose. Sending follow-up campaigns provides a number of opportunities and can be helpful to engage with subscribers that have opened your previous campaign. We can also send another campaign to subscribers that haven't opened a previous campaign. However, we recommend that you don't do this too soon after the initial campaign, as not all subscribers will have had a chance to open it yet. It's best if you resend to non-openers 1 or 2 days after the previous campaign. For the purpose of this tutorial, let's remove the follow-up email settings. Once all of your settings are in place, select Send Campaign or Finish Later to continue working on your email campaign. Thank you for supporting Mailblaze and learning more about how to use our platform. We want to help you grow, so if you get stuck at any point in time, please reach out to our support team via chat or by emailing support@mailblaze.com.